I ain't got no safety glasses, so I got to use these motherfuckers. This is like the coolest little vise. It attaches to, I just need to be really careful. It attaches to anything. It just suction cups to like any flat surface. It's pretty dope. Okay. I hate the fact that Bubba's gonna bend that shit. Making non-return rigs right now. And I need a dowel, but I don't have one, so I'm using the screwdriver, and it is not working that well. There we go. Actually, no, it's working pretty good, to be honest. Damn. I'll have to put this back a little bit. There we go. So the wire don't hit it. Ooh. One. Oh shit. Don't go loose now. Damn it. Don't loose on me. Not good. There. Basically got to get this wedged in here. I didn't do it too well. Shit. My clamp is not working as good as I want it to. There we go. All right, there we go. That's better. Nope, it's not. Son of a bitch. This isn't that easy. I need a dowel with the groove in it. I'm using the screwdriver instead. And trying to get it to like wedge perfectly is not that easy. There we go. Yeah, it just keeps coming undone. All right. What do we do? I think we gotta bend it a little bit, get it in the right position, and then hopefully it'll stay. This is what I'm trying to make right here. Or not trying, am, but for some reason I'm struggling right now as soon as I get the camera rolling. There we go. I just gotta get it like lined up perfectly with the screwdriver. There we go. Please stay in place. So far it is. 2, we're going for 3 spins, and then 1, 2, 3. All right, then we got to make this little half turn. This is the tricky part, in my opinion. So you got to like hold it, and then bend it over, and then start wrapping again. And you have to get the exact same number of wraps, otherwise it doesn't come out right, and it won't work. Oops. And some people use like a thinner gauge of wire too to make it easier to work with. But I'm trying to catch big shark, and I don't want to have something like this, which is just way too thin. You know, it needs something big. And this is a non-return, so it essentially, you cast your line out with the weight at the end, and then you feather this onto that line, and it has a float and a hook and everything and a leader attached to it. And it slides all the way out, and it as it's going out, it won't come back to your line. It only will slide one direction. So, and you can't really find these online to buy, and when you do, they're like $20 or $30 a piece. So I'm sorry, 20 or 30 bucks for like a set of like 4 of them. And wear glasses. I'm being an idiot right now by not wearing these glasses. But trying to be a little extra careful. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There has to be the exact amount. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because if it's not even, then it won't thread on. And I made that mistake with this one. I made this one right here, and it's got 4 on this side and 3 on this side, and that doesn't work. So, and then this one right here, I made the same way as this. I was able to pull one of the links off, but as you can see, it's really funky now. There's a bit of a learning curve to this, I'll admit it. There we go. Now, pop that out. And I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I just haven't figured it out. I want to say it took like 4 or 5 of these before I actually even was able to get one working. So I was lucky because one of the guys at the pier hooked me up, and like last year too. I've been sitting on this for a while, but he hooked me up with one so I could kind of copy it. He makes them. So, and I got this wire at Home Depot. I was trying to find spring wire. That's what they say to use. I was only able to find stainless steel wire, which from what my research, it will work. Oh, right now I'm kind of opening each little rib up and getting it kind of even, everything looking uniform. But mainly it just needs to be able to let the line slide through it. That's the main thing. So got to open up the springs. And I was worried that this wasn't going to be strong enough, but strong enough because it's not the spring steel. But once I add all these coils in, it gets ridiculously strong. So it's kind of nice. Be really careful with these. These can poke your eye out so easy. All right. And getting this little half loop rounded around and looking good is probably one of the harder parts of doing this, at least for me so far. But the first couple I did were really funky. There we go. Starting to look pretty good though. It's not looking too bad though. You can open this one up a little bit more. I recommend keeping the screwdriver on it. It just keeps all your loops from opening up too much in the wrong direction. There we go. Bam. And then I'm gonna take this guy right here. And I watched a video to do this on it, so no, wrong one. See, I'm almost messing up. This one right here, and we're gonna go ahead and do a 90-degree turn right there. And that's gonna be the gist of it right there. And from everything that I've read, it doesn't need to be super long, you know, like this one's way too long. All right. And again, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be. I understand why they charge so much for a couple of these at a time, just for like a 2-pack, because it is not an easy thing to make. Especially when you're using this really thick gauge wire. And one piece of advice that I took was try to find pliers with smooth edges, because they won't mar up the metal and then compromise the fishing line. It's actually a pretty important thing. Another thing was getting these wraps tight is not easy, especially when you're using your hands like an idiot like I am. I'm not using the pliers. I want to get like at least 3 wraps. But hey, it's starting to come along, right? It's starting to look like an actual non-return. Where's the one that my buddy gave me? Again, that's kind of what I'm going for. This one I messed up though, because I put 4 on this side, then the middle piece, and then 3. And I'll show you in a minute how it like actually threads onto the line once I get this one finished. Again, just trying to get these coils tight. It's not the easiest thing. I might be doing something wrong too. There's probably a way to make this like work easier. Oh, what's up? I just realized the chat's there. What's good? What's going on, Bibble? And we love any. What's good, bro? Y'all got some funny names. All right. So I've also noticed too that like when you're trying to bend this piece over, that's a point where it really wants to mess up on you. You got to make sure that you're like controlling it really well. Otherwise, you'll end up with like a funky this. It'll look like that. See how it goes all the way up here? And it's because as you're twisting it, this piece of metal is bending in. You never think it like takes so much skill to just bend some metal into like simple, shapes, but it does. Like I said, I had to do like 4 or 5 of these before I actually had one that was usable and keepable. In fact, I'll grab it. I'll show it to you. Here's the one that my buddy gave me that, as you can see, it uses a little bit thinner wire, but he's using spring wire. So this wire kind of like springs back into the form it is. It's already shaped in. And his has only like 2 coils. It's got the little middle piece. So, and then here's the first one that I made that's actually like usable. Ooh, that was loud. And again, it's not perfect, but I think it looks real good. So that's what I'm going for. What am I doing, Bibble? Hope I explained it. I'm making rigs. Bibble. Or is that? Yeah, if you just took one B out of that, that'd be Bible fan. And I like that. Is that what you're saying, Bible fan? Because the extra B is throwing me off there, bud. It's throwing me off there, guy. Need you. You gotta love Harbor Freight, y'all. $11 for like all the pliers I needed. They're not the best quality, but they got me started. There we go. Now that's starting to tighten up. All right, look, I'm learning. Keep it away from my face. And I know I'm going a little overkill on the amount of turns on this, but who cares, right? Like, there's no reason to waste the wire. Might as well just keep spinning her on there. I cannot stress how awesome Harbor Freight is because I got this bad boy right here, the clamp. This thing was $20, and it, like I said, it just suction cups to the floor. I'm sorry, to any flat surface. It's pretty sick. All right. One more turn. One more turn, sir. All right. Has anybody seen that toilet dude on YouTube Live? I'm still trying to figure out what he's about. That guy is a trip. All right, I don't know if I'm going to get another turn. And actually, I've also noticed the tighter you get it, the less it wants to move here, too. So the more turns you get on it actually makes for a better connection right here, because you don't want this piece to slide right here at all, because you want it fixed. The harder and more fixed it is that this stays. If this crunches up, you can have an issue when you're fighting your fish, so you don't want that. So I'm going in here and tightening it up. Trying to get that last turn on. There we go. This is seriously a process. Look at that. A little chewed up right there, but again, looks good. All right. Again, this is a non-return, so it's designed to slide down your fishing line and not come back whenever it's floating on top of the lake, because you use a float like this. So it's sliding along the line. You've got a line cast out with the weight on the bottom. You've got a leader with your hook on it. So this one's already done, all set up. So here's your non-return with your weight to your float, attached to a leader, all the way down to a hook. So you cast your line out, boom, it's got a weight attached to the bottom of it, stuck to the bottom in the sand. And this non-return is able to be threaded onto the line. And then, like I said, it slides down and you're able to fish for big fish, small fish, any fish on the top of the water. So it's kind of cool. But again, they're expensive to buy. They're hard to find good ones. So it's better just to make them yourself. And there's a huge pride that goes into like being a fisherman or an angler, and you're making your own equipment that you're catching the fish with. So you don't feel like you're going out and buying it and just following a set of instructions. Like there is an actual like learning curve to making your own gear, and I don't know, it's rewarding to some of us. All right, the next step is adding a weight. Now, where did I put my weights? Nice if I could find them. Not drop everything. I found them. I said to drop everything, and then I found them. Alright. So they do need a weight to help them slide. And most of these non-returns I see use swivels. Not swivels. I'm sorry. Beads as well. And I don't know. I don't think you need the bead if it's a locked in place one. The only thing that the bead really does is right here is supposed to keep it in place. And one thing is, I'm hoping I'm not making this too long, because my example one that was given to me, you see how short it is? If I can get it on the camera straight, there you go. See how short it is? And then you take mine and you look, and it's just way bigger. I think mine looks better, to be honest, but there could be a reason that one's the size it is. And I did have noticed too, just use more than enough wire so you have plenty to work with. When you are like right at the edge of it and you can't get enough turns, like this is like a no-go. You see how barely I have the end on there? If that's a big fish hitting it, I don't trust that that's gonna do me any good. I feel like that's gonna pull off. So you need something more like that. The 4 spins around, I think that's the money. And I still haven't decided, is it better to put the weight on that way, or Jesus, it is king. All right, that way. All right, I think it's gonna be the other way. Oh shit, I'm crazy. All right, no. What do you think? This way? Help me, guys. Should I have it this way? Yeah, I think that way. All right, so now we got to add the I'm still trying to figure out the best way to clamp this too when I'm using it. This is all trial by error, trial and error. Learn, adjust. How is the best way to just get a perfect circle? Do I use the screwdriver again? What do I do? Like, can I come up like this? I'm gonna open it up, put this here like that, so it's locked in place. See how this works. Man, I keep leaving that open and then it falls over. Not smart. All right. Do I come here? We want it to be straight with it. We don't want it to be too long either. Okay. And do I like come in and pinch it together? Like I know this is stupid, but I still haven't figured out the best way to get this to like, okay, you see how mine is like, that's not too bad, but it doesn't look that great. This one's more of an example of how kind of cattywampus it is. This one that my buddy gave me is like a perfect circle. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. Anybody has any advice? I am all ears. So I don't know if I need to like kink it first, you know, before I start spinning this over. Like that. And then do I start wrapping it? What is the move? All right. Just getting a bite on this is proven to be like one of the harder parts. There we go. But once you kind of get it going, it's like, all right. Once you find a good hold spot, it's like, okay. But up until then, it's like, dude. All right. See, this one, I don't think I need to do all the spins on it, but that's starting to come together, right? That looks pretty good. I think it does. This is probably the 6th one I've ever made, seventh one that I've ever made. So they went from really funky, not looking quite right, to looking pretty good. And again, I just saved myself, well, not yet, buying the little clamp, getting a whole roll of wire and some pliers. Cost me like $50 for everything, but that's enough to make probably like 100 of these. And again, just buy some $10 a roll of wire. That's not bad. Better than, I think it's like $20 for 2 of these. And the weights are pretty inexpensive as well. Actually, lead does actually kind of add up after a while, but I think it's like $1 an ounce right now. It used to be extremely inexpensive. All right, let me just finish spinning this on and we'll be done. I was debating doing this live at the pier. It'd probably be a lot prettier out there. If I would, I might do that tomorrow though. I might go out, I need to catch some bait, and I still have, to try out the Max Life bait tank that I built. You check out some other videos on the channel. I still got to test that out with mackerel. I've done it so far with smelt, shrimp. That's it basically, and it's worked amazing for both. But mackerel is kind of like the testament of its durability, because mackerel have a huge bio load. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of struggling with this. This is not easy. I want to get all the wraps on, but it's like sometimes as you're trying to wrap it, the other pieces, like the other parts of it, want to bend instead of the piece you're trying to wrap actually like keep spinning. So the other thing too is you got to keep tightening these up. I wonder if lighter wire isn't as hard to manipulate. There we go. That's nice and tight. I think I'm going to call it right there. Yeah, I think any more spins is just going to bend this up too much. This is really hard. Stuff does not want to cut. And if you don't hold the lead end with something, I swear it just wants to fly across the room. There we go, got it. And I still didn't get the trash. There we go. All right. I cannot get this to spin anymore. Where's my bullnose crimps in here? These are such little baby bullnose crimps, so they barely work. But they do. All right. No bueno. Almost pinched myself. All right. And the last thing you do is give it a nice little bend. Nice little bend, and that should be it. All right. I do feel like I have a lot of improvement to do, but starting out as a piece of wire, then going to that, not bad. So, voila. Oh man, allergies are killing me though. I want to sneeze so bad. I know the more I make these, the better they'll start looking, you know, but I don't think it looks too bad. I think it'll do the job. The only thing I wish is that I had spring steel and not this just stock stainless steel. It's galvanized though. It shouldn't rust. So as long as it holds up. And that's another thing. This stuff, like once you get it all together and make the coil, it's pretty darn strong. And look, it doesn't want to slide or anything on there. So yeah, I think that's good stuff. I think that's going to hold up against the Thresher Shark. We'll find out though. All right, on to another one. It's kind of hard to sit here and make them. I get bored of making one too. After I make one, I'm like, all right, should I take a break? But I kind of want to have enough. I don't have enough, you know, to lose a few and be all right. Anyways, it took me 30 minutes to do one. Holy shit. All right, well, cheers, y'all.